Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of my podcast, The Omar's Talk. I'm talking shit all the time, don't ever take it seriously. If you feel like, oh, you shouldn't talk about this, you shouldn't talk about that, then fucking close that and don't listen to me. You're not in the right place, okay? And if you think you're in the right place and you're still here, welcome. Today's subject is gonna be about something in relationships that I just stumbled on and I didn't know it exists before, which was polyamorous relationships. I didn't know about this at all. I'm a writer, I'm trying to finish my first novel so far. When I used to write in uh, coffee shops like Starbucks or whatever, I used to like when I take a break, I just look to the person next to me, right or left, and be like, "Do you have a minute?" And if they free to talk, I start to ask them some questions for like inspiration and also getting my break. So one time I was asking this girl at Starbucks at the time, and yeah, we keep talking, and then she started to talk about her relationship. I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm still asking, and it's all like coming with the flow, just going with the flow. And all of a sudden she says she has a boyfriend. I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I'm in a polyamorous relationship. At this time, it was the first time I ever heard about this. Like someone actually saying it to me. I was like, what is that? She's like, that's like when you don't have to be with one person in a relationship. I was like, ah, yeah, so you mean like an open relationship? He's like, yeah, but it's not the same. I was like, okay. So I'm like, so you have like different boyfriends, or he has different girlfriends, or something? Like, he's like, no, actually, I'm only having him, but he has another girlfriend. I was like, okay. And then she said, this another girlfriend that he has another boyfriend and another girlfriend. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she's totally okay with it. She was only 20 years old. I was like, okay, that's normal. And like, I'm just trying to get as more information about this because it was something new to me. I was like, so how far is that? And like, just normal. She's like, she didn't have any problems about it. Her only problem is that she is 20 years old and this guy is 33. She didn't have a problem with that, but her problem was how she's gonna explain this to her mother. I was like, what exactly you gonna explain? Is a polyamorous thing and he has like other partners, or the age? And she was like, no, I think the age is the main thing. I was like, that's so weird. Like, for me, it was really weird. And then I was like, I wanted to know more about this because it was like first time. Because for me, like people marrying with an age gap, something happened before, like happened always, right? And sometimes the age gap is like way too much. Sometimes it goes over 20 years, over 25. But people still like it's not as frowned upon as you may think. But like back in the day, now it's normal. Like if they happy, they happy. That's it. Whatever works for them, you don't have to have an opinion about it. It's not even you. You're not even involved in this circle at all. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Uh, then I wanted to ask her like, hey, like, uh, so if you're in a polyamorous relationship, what's the concept of cheating in this relationship? It's not just open that we can date new people. It's like you literally have multiple relationships at the same time. She's like, yeah. I was like, so the concept of cheating doesn't exist. She's like, no, no, no. He can cheat on me if he didn't use a condom. I was like, really? Is it like? She's like, yeah. And if he met someone, uh, and didn't tell me about it, I'm like, okay. So how he's gonna stop himself from doing this if he's like kinda there? She's like, No, if he has like a moment and he want to do something, like he want to have sex with another girl that he maybe met the same day, maybe same hour, and he have a moment, he's not gonna stop and text me. I don't expect him to do that, but he has to tell me later. I was like, how later? She's like maximum 2 days. He has to tell me that he had sex with another girl that I didn't know about it before. I was like, what the fuck? For me, a guy who's like, now I heard like, oh, she said, you have to read about it, and I think my face told her that what the fuck is this? Like I can't see this going somewhere, especially that I'm hearing it from a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a guy, like no man, my girl will be fine. She will understand. Like okay, like this guy just want to fuck every girl. Like that's understandable coming from a guy, as sexiest and and judgmental as it is, but it's kinda understandable. But coming from a little girl was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like how much did the game have changed? It was like a little bit too much for me to understand at the moment. So I'm like, okay, and we kept talking and talking. She kept talking about other stuff. Like, okay, I'm the guy who lives under a rock, but hey, like, I don't see this shit out there all the time. Like, if someone says I'm married or I have a girlfriend, or even like a man says I have a boyfriend, or a girl says I have a wife, or whatever, it's still you're assuming it's just one person. I don't believe that I'm the only guy who's like, oh, it's just one person. No, like I think the majority is like this. So we keep talking and stuff, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, wow, that's way too much. Then the conversation gets like as I'm like asking questions, and seriously, it was just like someone new, someone has like a whole new experiences or like encountered stuff that I didn't. And she was like really cool and really open to talk about it. I was like every like 5 minutes I'd be like, I'm gonna ask you something. If you think it's too far, I'm gonna apologize and I'm sorry. But she was like, keep going, and she was like really open. That's something that was like really admirable. But the thing is like I felt what she's doing is like she's the only one who's doing it. And then she told me that I'm now I'm a monogamist or like monogamous relationship, which is like just one person. Like you commit to one person. I was like, yeah. I was like, the open relationship is not for me. I was like, why don't you just like I in my head, and I'm gonna talk to you through how I felt about it, and how when I talked to my friends, how my mind kept changing about it, and how much is uh, my thought kept like changing to a good way actually. First I was like, I feel like she just wanna be uh, like friends with benefits, or like wanna be in an open relationship, which for me like I still don't get it. Like I don't get the open relationship stuff. Uh, but okay, it's cool. Like if I'm with you, it's fine that you're gonna date someone else. It's fine if I fuck someone else. And to hear it again, to hear it from a girl was like way like wow, like that was too much for me. Like I didn't see it coming, I didn't expect it at all. But anyway, as more as I was talking, and then we talking, and then cool, nice, and conversation ended after a while. Then I was like talking to some of my friends. Some didn't hear about it at all, as me, which made me feel like, oh, okay, I'm not the guy who live under a rock. For you who's listening, some might be like, no, actually you are. Cool. We keep learning, we keep evolving, uh, and that's why we talk to each other. But the thing is, like, some of them was like, yeah, I was exactly like you. I hated it. I didn't even think that it's normal. But after a while, it's not for you. And someone else said, yeah, I totally get it, but it's not for me. But he didn't even say it like it's not for me, like I don't like it. He actually tried it, but he was like, it's too much argument. Like you're arguing with two girls now. It's too much. I was like, okay, like he went in as like he's gonna have double the fun, double the sex, double the dating, double the fun, but he had double the argument, which was like, yeah, that's part of the deal for sure. But he was like, it's normal, it's normal, it's just not for you. And then someone explained it in a very very good way. He said it's like being gay. It's normal. If someone is gay, that doesn't affect you. And by gay, I mean like they're not heterosexuals. They like gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever, like all of that. So it's like it's not for you as a straight guy, but it's still okay to have this out there. I was like, you know what? Like, you have a point, but here is another thing. Being gay doesn't affect me as a person at all, right? Like, if you're straight, it's like straight people affecting gay people. Like, if someone's gay and he sees straight people living their life, that doesn't affect a gay person. Same way, me, like, I don't feel any problems that there's gay people. I have gay friends. But the thing is, like, it's not affecting me in my life. But polyamorous, yeah, it can actually affect me. Like, now I have to identify as a monogamous guy. Like, I'm into monogamous relationship. I hope I'm saying it right. Because I'm like, that's a thing now. Like, you have to say, like, hey, my thing is not committing. Sorry, my thing is committing to just one person. Like, you have to identify that. That by itself is like, it's too much. And here's here's where the part of me is like, not judging, but hey, I'm fucking talking shit. I'm gonna talk the shit that you wanna say, but you can't say it. My idea is those people just wanna have fun all the fucking time, but they don't wanna get shamed of like, hey, you're just a whore, man whore, just fucking around all the fucking time. No, I'm actually in a relationship, and she knows or he knows, and now you're fine to sleep with everyone you have, and you don't get like feeling lonely or you're single for too long, which sometimes people shame each other for. I don't know why, but shit happens. Or even yourself, you feel like I'm single for too long, maybe nobody likes me, shit like that. So now you're feeling like you're checking all the fucking points. But in my head, I'm like, why don't you just fucking call it friends with benefits? Just to get out of the I'm single category and become like, hey, I'm in a relationship? That's fucked up. But then another friend said, no, they don't call it friends with benefits, they call it relationship because they actually have feelings for each other. They're just not committed to one person. They just have feelings for each other. I'm like, what the fuck? Still, is is a little bit too much for me to like. Okay, so especially if you grow up and you're raised and your whole dating life is one way, then you're coming with another way that's totally different, and it's affecting you. It's not like one of my friends said, hey, it's just not for you. It's like the gay thing. No, gay thing doesn't affect you at all, but this does affect you. You don't want to like date someone and then uh like found out later that hey, they into fucking open relationship or something like that. Nothing against you, it's just no for me. Again, nothing against you. uh Part of me feel like hey, I just wanna cheat. Like I wanna keep you, but I wanna cheat on holidays. Like, but now the holidays every day. It's exactly how I feel it. The idea of you feeling it's okay that your partner is gonna go fuck someone else, that's totally weird for me. I'm sure a lot of people agree, but here is the thing. This polyamorous thing is still picking up the base. It's not like something that we are used to not having, and now we're gonna have it. Like it's in the society now, and it's starting. And the more I talk to friends, the more they're like, "Yeah, it's actually a thing." Also, what bothers, like, not bothers me, just like idea in my head, like, how you gonna get married if you're in polyamorous relationship? Are we gonna have like four husbands on the altar and six women? Like, like, and they all, hey, we're married to each other. Like, it's not gonna be a ring, it's gonna be a chain. Like, it's crazy. So, again, I still wanna be like the guy who's like not judging, but I feel it's like a little bit too hard. Seriously. Yeah, it's too hard not to judge. No, it's too hard to accept that, hey, my girl wanna be with another guy, or another two guys, or another guy, another girl. That's normal. That's fucking normal, and that's easy, and that's something that now I have to identify that, hey, I'm into one person only. That's a little bit weird. Yes, if you have feelings, you still can have feelings who's like in a friend who's benefits. Just like make it like, hey, we're just fucking around or something. That's normal. The benefits doesn't have to be just sex. The benefits can be like, hey, let's go on a date. And we know we're not gonna be like together forever or shit like that. We're just fucking around. We're just having a good time. Living lives. That's cool. But to call it a relationship, now it feels like you are really downgrading the idea of commitment in a relationship. Like now the people who's like in a relationship, like now everybody's in a relationship. Now it's something that's normal, and I don't know how far it's gonna go because it's gonna take a while. It's like as the person said, it's like the gays thing. When everyone was like, that's wrong, that's a sin, and all the religions was against it, and it took them like a while actually. And now like there's gay pride walk and or like pride walk. I don't know what's the name, but the celebrity, a celebration. Sorry, and yeah, there's a pride in it, and there's like everyone's uh, like taking it as like a fucking normal thing. It's part of society now. Like if you're straight or you're not straight, if you're heterosexual or not, that doesn't matter at all, which is cool. But it took a while for us to get there. Okay, so my question now is, will polyamorous become the thing, the normal thing? Like after a while, I don't know how. Like maybe 20 years, maybe 30, maybe 50. Keep in mind, like now, like gay people, and again, when I mention gay, I mean everyone who's not heterosexual, the LGBTQ community. They fought a lot, and now they, in most of the world, not all the countries, not all the areas, but most of the world, they totally accepted, they totally uh, not even seeing as something different at all, which is cool. Good for them. The thing is, and as I said, it doesn't affect me, but in polyamorous, will it become normal? Like, will my grandson have like uh, three wives and four husbands at the same time? Will that be okay? Some of you who are like polyamorous will be like, this is like, what's wrong? And some of you like, hey, this is ridiculous. It's never gonna happen. No, shit change with time. Black people is not the same black people. Like, they don't get the same look as they had in the 60s. They're not slaves anymore. Gays are not being called like fags and people who are committing sins and God doesn't approve and created man and Eve, not man and Eve, Adam and Eve, and not Adam and Steve and shit like that. Still happens in some like old people or like very uh, conservative countries, conservative area, but still they come too far, which is really cool now. Good for them, good for black people, me included for sure. Uh, but the idea of like polyamorous, will it be okay? And if that becomes okay, like we all can see it, we all can see, like let's say Netflix, we can all tell that someone, I don't want to say the CEO or whoever, someone responsible there is supporting the gay community in a very big way. Like every show, every new TV, new movie, every show, every title that comes out has to have something that is not heterosexual in it, which is normal, but it's pushed, like totally pushed, and they know we see it's pushed, and they're like, okay, the casual damage that we're gonna get is like they're gonna say, hey, we pushed it so far, okay, cool, but after a while, as even now, it's totally fine to have gay people, so it's the same. Will it happen with the polyamorous? And if it happens with the polyamorous, will it happen with the people who are thinking, hey, like maybe we're gonna become like allies for polyamorous people? I don't know. Like polyamorous relationship? I don't know. For me now, I still think, hey, it's not for me. Not that it's totally cheating, but it's just weird. Like seriously, it's weird that I'm talking to a friend and his girlfriend is having a date or fucking her boyfriend, her other boyfriend. Like that's weird for me. That's totally weird for me. And it still is. I don't know. Like maybe this record is gonna hit me, like hunt me later, like the Kevin Hart shit. I don't know, but I'm talking shit. Don't listen to me. But the thing is, like, yes, it's too far. Yes, with the power of the media, or someone like, let's say Netflix, for example, or any other big streaming service, or Hollywood studios, it's gonna support the polyamory shit, and it's gonna keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Too far, even if it's too far, you're gonna start to have allies. You're gonna start to have people on Twitter and in social media supporting this. And yes, there is like polyamorous pride or something like that. I'm mentioning it. I'm mentioning it comparing to the gay community because the gay community was like something that's really not just frowned upon. It was even a crime in most times and most countries, I guess. And now it's totally something great. Now if you say something bad to a gay person, really, if you're homophobic, uh, you lose your job. You have a tough life. So will it happen with the polyamorous? Like I'm gonna be homophobic, but not against gay people, against polyamorous people. Because as I said, gay people doesn't affect me, but polyamorous does affect me. I don't want to. I don't want my girlfriend to fuck another boyfriend at the same time. Like what the fuck? And I feel bad that I have to explain this. Okay. Like my ex, when I was telling her that, she keeps saying, "Stop, stop, stop." Like I'm judging them, and I'm like, "No, like, are you into polyamorous?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, so," but she grew up differently than I am, so now she still feel like she has to defend them for some reason. I'm like, I'm not attacking them. I'm just saying it's not normal for me. Okay, normal is relative on what you like. It's not what everyone likes. Yeah, but how far is too far? That's what I'm saying. And will this go too far? And now it's gonna become the normal thing. Like now it's gonna be frowned upon. Like, oh shit, you have only one girlfriend. It's like now you're single. If you only have one girlfriend, now you're like a single guy. Like, oh shit, your dick's too small. You can only catch one girlfriend. Something like that. Will that happen later? I don't know. Give it time. Time flies like so fast. Will that happen later? I don't know. And if that's too far and the media are really taking it, like as I said, if any, like if Hollywood starts supporting this and now we're seeing it all the fucking time, and then you start like, yeah, I think it's alright, and then you just start crossing from here to there and you lean forward to like, yeah, it's normal, and then you start to be okay with it. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I'm thinking like, okay, how far is too far? And if I think something is cheating, how can I accept it as like, hey, I'm not homophobic. It's okay if you wanna cheat. Like when I say homophobic, I mean against the polyamorous. They didn't invent this disease or word yet, but I'm sure they will. Like now I'm closed minded for sure. For most of you, I'm closed minded. But hey, uh, that's cheating. having feelings, it's normal that you have feelings for someone else. Like even when you have a girlfriend, sometimes you have a little bit of a feeling, you have a little bit of liking into some other girl. You don't act on it because that's cheating on your girl. Same way, like you're not expecting that your girl is fucking doesn't see any guy at all. No, she thinks this guy's cute. She thinks this guy's successful. She likes this quality about this other guy. But she chooses to be with you. That's commitment. That's love. That's that's a relationship. But now it's like, hey, it's like a stadium. It's like an audience, and everyone is into everyone. Just, that's weird. And I still think of it as cheating. Will my mind change? I don't know. I hope not. I don't know. Maybe I will listen to this track like 10 years later and I'll be like, this kid was dumb. And I'm laughing at myself. Same way, like 5 years ago, I was completely homophobic. Now I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of gay friends and that's fine. It's totally fine. It's even more fun. But I just, hey, the idea of how our mind change is too much. It's too far. We're totally getting programmed. We're totally getting told and spoon feed on what should we like and what we shouldn't like. So at least I tried to speak my mind and I said, hey, I don't like this at all. If you're into me, you're into me. And that's it. Like if you're with me, I'm with you and that's it. We're just together. Now I'm gonna be the old school guy. Now I'm gonna be the closed minded guy. Which is fucked up. This is how I see it fucked up. It's more about who gets claps more, who gets likes more. If I say, hey, polyamorous is cheating, and then you're like, oh, you're just a fucking old school guy who closed minded. If you get more likes on Twitter, for example, than me, then you're right. Because it's all about the majority. And guess what? Now you're gonna be the closed minded guy or girl that's thinking we are full of shit because we just one was one girl or a girl was one guy. So it keeps like in my mind, like every time, like it's just like what the fuck is happening? Like in online dating, now I started to see in the profiles that I am into monogamous relationship. I'm like, that's the thing now. Like that's the thing that I have to identify. So I don't know. This is like April 2020. So we will give it time. Will it really become something that's the normal? And I guess it's also because one of the girls actually said not one partner is gonna fulfill everything. This was the argument. Okay? This was the argument. Like it's a valid argument somehow. Like there's something that I get what you're saying. Not like she don't believe that there's one guy who's gonna fulfill everything. The romantic stuff, the sex stuff, the talking stuff, the nerdy stuff, all the stuff. He's not gonna check all the boxes. But guess what? Nothing in the fucking life does. No jobs checks all the boxes. You can be like, hey, I'm gonna work 2 hours in this company, and then I will take a break and then go for another hours, and then another 2 hours in a different company, and then I will go home, chill with my boyfriend, whoever date that is. So and then you go later like I'm gonna have a night shift for 1 hour and a half in a different company. It doesn't work this way. You have to commit to a company, and some contracts like I signed some contracts that I cannot work in any other job. They force you to sign this. That's a commitment, and this is just a contract. It's not sexual at all. There's no partner, there's no girl, nothing. So the idea of like, hey, I want this guy because this guy is like fun to watch movies with. This guy is good at sex. This guy is good at sport. This guy is good at walk and talk. This guy likes. I like his music taste. And then you're gonna date all those fucking guys at the same time because everyone checks one box for you. This was her argument, which is like, okay, I understand. do this, but don't fucking call it a relationship. The idea of like, no, because I have feelings for them. Hey, we all do that. All men do that shit, okay? But we don't call it a relationship. The idea of like you want to do all of this and you want to get out of like, hey, that's why you're by yourself and you don't want to hear that. Okay, fucking commit to someone. First of all, if someone says that, it's a piece of shit. But if it bothers you much and then you're gonna call every good morning conversation is another relationship, is he's one of my boyfriends now, that's fucked up. Like, I'm still like, if someone into a polyamorous relationship, hey, it's for you. I don't here's the thing, I don't disrespect you at all. But if you are my girl and you mention it remotely, you're a cheater. That's it. You have to understand the difference. It's like, again, best example to compare to is the gay people. You don't have any problem with being gay. But if your boyfriend tells you, I'm thinking about sucking dick today, I don't think you'll be okay. I don't think you'll be okay. Some girls are into bisexual guys. Cool, good for them. I'm talking about the people who's like, hey, it's just one to one. It's just us. This is what makes it commitment. This is what makes it, hey, we are together. And this is the core of a relationship to me. If you think I'm old school, fuck you, I don't care. I think you're a whore. Seriously. But you're just trying to justify it so you don't get slut shamed. I'm talking about a guy or a girl. Seriously. But guys don't get slut shamed anyway. Slut shamed anyway. But anyway, it's just me talking shit. Maybe because here I'm just gonna keep the door open. Because as I said, when the first girl told me, I was like, what the fuck? Then I asked one guy and he's like, yeah, it's not for you. Then I ask another girl and she's like, yeah, they do this because they still have feelings. Then another girl says, oh, because it doesn't full, like one guy may not fulfill everything. So yeah, I still, like, I understand, but I still don't think it's valid enough, and I still don't think of it as a relationship. So I'm still gonna keep the door open if you have something to say and we can argue about it. Of course, I'm still gonna talk shit till you prove me wrong. And that's it. That was the day of the polyamorous bullshit. And I don't know. I think it's totally bullshit. So far, who knows? As I said, maybe 10 years later I will hate myself, or I will be the guy who's looking at the guy who's speaking like this and laughing, or I will become more against it. I don't know. I'm just talking shit, living life. So, yeah, that's it. Tell me what you think. Uh, Thanks for tuning in. My name is Omar.